contents and could barely get herself to eat more. The smell alone made her want to throw up. Cold beans eaten directly from the can was her least favorite meal. Not that she could afford to be picky. She should be happy that she even got any food. Amelia forced a smile and looked at her mom across the cabin of the old station wagon. They had turned the back into a living area by putting the seats down and hanging towels in front of the windows so no one could look in. It was so hot in there all afternoon, and they couldn't wait till the sun went down. Amelia and her mom had spent the afternoon walking the streets and going into stores to cool down. That way they didn't have to get in the car till just before sundown. The AC only worked when the engine was turned on, and they couldn't afford the gas to drive around, except when going somewhere important like the school or looking for jobs for her mom. Amelia took one more bite, then swallowed, closing her eyes, barely chewing, so she tasted it as little as possible. "I'm not hungry anymore," she said and handed her mother the can. Her mother gave her a look. "Are you sure? It's all we have." She nodded even though she felt her stomach rumbling. The school served breakfast, and she still had half a muffin in her backpack she could eat at night if she woke up starving as she usually did. Amelia felt bad for not telling her mom about the muffin, but she needed it to make it through the night. "Yes, suit yourself." Her mother ate the rest of her beans, shoveling the last part into her mouth, tipping the can upside down. Some of the red sauce ran down her chin, and she wiped it with her finger, then licked it. Amelia winced when seeing this. Everything about them and the way they lived was so embarrassing. Amelia leaned back and closed her eyes in shame, hoping the temperature would go down soon. They had popped both windows open in the front to let some air in, but no wind moved outside, so it didn't help much. Amelia was sweating heavily and felt tired. She peeked out from behind one of the towels and looked into the parking lot where they had decided to stay for the night. They usually shifted around so the police wouldn't realize they were living there and chase them away. Tonight they had chosen to park at the port. Amelia never liked sleeping there much. She preferred the parking lot at Walmart, where she felt safer. Down here it was so vacant. They were surrounded by huge containers and enormous ships, but it all seemed so big and scary. Amelia thought about her day at school and was looking forward to going back the next day. But with every day that passed, they came closer to the weekend, and Amelia hated the weekends. The days drifting around with nothing to do were long and painful. "Do you have homework?" her mother asked. "I already did it at school," Amelia said. She failed to mention that she had to do it at school since it was required to be done on a computer. She didn't want her mother to feel like a failure more than she already did. "Maybe we should just call it a night, huh?" her mother said. "Get some sleep? It seems to be cooling down a little now already. There's a breeze coming from the water. I think it'll be real nice in a minute or two. I'll leave the windows cracked open for the night." Amelia nodded. There was no point in staying awake because they had nothing to do. Amelia was exhausted anyway from waking up so many times the night before when her mother was crying. She really hoped she could just doze off now and not wake up till it was light out again and the day had begun. She needed to drift off into the world of her dreams, where she forgot about how miserable her life was. They used a toilet on the port to brush their teeth and go to the bathroom before bedtime, then got back inside the car and locked the doors. Her mother leaned over and kissed her in the darkness before she grabbed her pill bottle and took a couple. They were sleeping pills, which her mother often took before bedtime because she needed to sleep heavily. She couldn't afford to take them often, so it only happened on some days. "Good night, sweetie. See you tomorrow." "Good night, Mommy," Amelia sighed while secretly praying for sleep to come quickly. "I love you." "I love you too." Chapter 3. Amelia was sleeping soundly when it happened. She was dreaming about her father, about the time before he and her mom split up, and those were the best dreams she could ever have. He was holding her in his arms, swinging her around like he always used to do when she was younger, and he was laughing. Amelia barely remembered him laughing anymore since, in the end, before her parents split up, no one ever laughed in her house anymore, and her mother had barely laughed since. They were in the middle of a deep hug, her father and her, when she felt movement. In her dream, it resulted in an earthquake.